Hey, I'm Kenneth Wajda. I'm a professional photographer here in Colorado. Welcome to another one of my photo chats. So everybody keeps talking about the price of film going up, but if you use film to make photographs that matter to you, you don't spray and pray, you just try things, but you take a frame or two. Film doesn't have to be that expensive. It's the kind of material that you use because you're going to make something that you have a goal for. You're going to photograph something, maybe it's an old car, you're going to put it in your bathroom. You're going to put it in your den. You have a plan for it, and you shoot 2 or 3 frames. You can afford a $20 roll of portrait if you're going to make something with 5, 10 of those photographs. And you can afford black and white film. It's only $7, $8 a roll, and you can hand develop it yourself. It's not that expensive. And if you need to go even cheaper, this is an Olympus pen. It's an Olympus Pen S. Whenever I'm looking for cameras to buy, to use, I'm looking for ones that don't have automatic features, like a light meter that automatically sets the exposure, because if it does, and it doesn't work, I can't override it. But this one has both apertures and shutter speeds settable by the user. So this is a great camera to pick up. That's also a half frame camera. When you look through the viewfinder, you see a vertical frame, kind of like what you can see right there. It's a vertical frame because it shoots half of a 35mm frame, and you get 72 frames per 36 exposure roll of film. Can you make photographs at a half frame? Sure you can. It's larger than what a 16mm movie camera frame used to be. It's half of a 35mm frame. It's the same size as what a motion picture 35mm camera shoots, because Oscar Barnack took motion picture film, and since it runs vertically through the camera, its size is 18 by 24mm, and because he turned it sideways and doubled it, he made it 24 by 36mm. This shoots a 35mm motion picture film size horizontally. If you turn the camera vertically, since it has a vertical oriented viewfinder. Is that high enough quality? Sure it is. Can you do great work with a half frame camera? Sure you can. You can do diptychs. If you want to shoot 2 things in the same frame area, you can get a lot more choices to pick from, and you also get that added benefit of the film lasts forever. This is on frame number 50, and it's a countdown counter, and I'm never going to finish this roll of film. It just takes forever because you have 72 frames inside one roll of film. And that's one of the things where it's like people are looking for ways to make it so film photography is more affordable. These came out in the 1950s and 60s because color film was gaining popularity, but it was more expensive than black and white. So for the same reason today, shoot a half frame camera. Now, if you're shooting slide film, you may want to tell them not to cut your film because they may not cut it right, because sometimes half frame cameras aren't exactly in the same position as what they would expect from a full frame 35mm camera. But if you're shooting black and white, you can certainly make prints all day long. And can you make prints from a half frame camera? Sure. Make a good negative, get it well exposed, get it in focus. A camera like this, it's been said that Olympus was extra careful about making great lenses for their half frame camera, knowing it's a smaller lens, the smaller film size, that they needed to have a sharper, really, really quality lens on there to overcome the fact that it's a little bit of a smaller frame size. So options are out there. This is one that I like a lot. It's the Olympus Pen S. There's also the Olympus Pen, which had interchangeable lenses. I've never had one of those. I think that those would be wonderful to use, but a lot heavier. This fits in a shirt pocket or a coat pocket without any trouble because it's so small. But half frame cameras. So film isn't that expensive anymore. All you got to do is cut back on how big your frame size is and work hard to make great negatives, and you can still make great photos. All right, that's today's photography talk. If you're enjoying these, hit the subscribe button. If you can support, hit the Patreon. Thanks to all of my supporters, and I'll be back next time. We'll talk more photography. As always, here's the good light.